Davis. He is a physical therapist. And if y'all didn't know, he's also a dynamic R&B singer. So without further ado, my handsome nephew about to walk down the aisles. Come on, nephew. Come on, clap it up for my nephew, y'all.
Thank you, Auntie. As you say, my name is Antonio Jamel Davis. And so the day I met Lydia, our marketing manager at the clinic I was working at, she's like, "You got to meet Lydia. We're doing this project." Lydia walks in with this big smile, and she was just so amazing. So we had a conversation, and she was telling me that she did branding. So I was like, "You ever work with an artist?" She said, "I used to." I was like, "I need you to take a chance." So what Lydia did not know is that she really didn't know what she was getting into when she signed me up. So part of the branding process is understanding where you're going and then understanding where you are. So in understanding where I was trying to go, I realized that life had kind of beat me up. Relationships that made me feel less than what I was worth, just situations in life, like the normal life struggles. And so like Lydia really helped move me through that. I had to see what I saw, and then I had to believe it too. And the thing was, she believed before I did. Through Lydia, I was on this project called Men with Vision 2020. Woo-woo! We did a magazine and a calendar. She was like, "I want to." I was like, "Me? What are you talking about?" So did the project, it came out great. And after that, Lydia had me on another show called, it was a show called Matchmaker Atlanta. So I did an episode on there, and that was pretty cool. Got my dose of reality television. But I learned from my brother Dylan what I need to do on there. So, but Lydia, this journey has been amazing. I've not only just been her client, but she's become like my best friend. We talk almost every single day. Yes, in some form or fashion, whether it's text messages or whatnot. But she really helped me become who I have become at this time. She helped instill confidence that many relationships with previous women had kind of diminished a little bit. She helped just and increased the confidence and made me believe in who I actually was as a person. And for that, I am forever indebted, and that's why she's the best. So I thank you, Queen Lydia Pierre, the best.
That's beautiful. So you mean to tell me, when working with Queen Lydia, not only do you get a brand manager, and you may get you a bestie and a therapist and a friend? Sounds like some of y'all should be signing up. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for that to my nephew. And I think my nephew's single. Nephew, you still single, nephew? Oh, sorry. I was gonna help y'all out later. My nephew said he's single. All right. He said, "Oh, not right now." Okay, so next we're going to call up a beautiful, look, I'm not even gonna call her big sister, y'all, because she really look only 35. So I'm going to call this wonderful queen up. She is a phenomenal and a fantastic attorney here in the Metro ATL area. She loves people hard. She has a heart of gold. So without further ado, I'm gonna call up attorney Sandra L. Jean. She is the CEO of Jean Consulting Group. Y'all better do better than that. And I said clap it up for this queen, who is an attorney, who has a consulting group.
So I am Sandra, so this is not about me, it's about Lydia. And I want to spend a few minutes talking about who Lydia is. She's like a daughter to me. I love her. I know I'm not old enough to be her mama, but I still call her my daughter. I met Lydia in 2014 as the founder of the Georgia Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. I was always scouting for talent. Somebody told me there's this young lady, she's phenomenal. She's in Henry County and you need to meet her. So I got in my car, it was like July 2014, I think. And I drove all the way to wherever the heck it was in Henry County. And we met, and I said, "You need to come be part of the chamber." She's like, "Nah, I got dreams, I have aspirations. They're big. I don't think where I'm going." So she didn't know me. I never take no for an answer. I just think that's a maybe. So I pursued her, and fast forward, 3 years later, you became part of the Georgia Haitian American Chamber. Woo! 3 years ago, I gotta say, not 3 years later, forever to get into the chamber, but now she's part of it. But I want to tell you again who Lydia is as a brand. So I fast forward, I grew up in corporate America. I've been an attorney for almost 30 years, but it was all in corporate America. 2 years ago, I decided to launch my firm, and I was like, "Oh my God, I need collateral. I don't have any money." Starting this out, I went on Canva and I made a little, I don't know what it was, a business card, and I posted it on Facebook. It was like Sunday morning, and she quickly sent me a text and said, "Take that down. And here's a new one. This is not representative of you." And she made me one. Like within 30 minutes of me posting one, she took my little Canva card and elevated it to a level that I'm like, wow, like who is she to be able to do this? No money asked. I didn't even ask her to do it. She saw a need. She filled the need. So that's the person she is. And I love to have her in my circle. And she knows I love her. I would do anything for her. And I'm so proud of you and the woman you've become and becoming. And happy birthday.
Thank you, my love. So look at that. Beautiful things come out when you volunteer people to do things, right? So that is beautiful. So now I want to call up none other than the president of the Georgia Haitian Chamber of Commerce. You know his face, I believe he's gonna be on Billboard somewhere someday soon. So Dr. Ronald Setu, go ahead and come forward. Come on, clap it up. I say he is the president of the chamber, y'all.
All right, so big shout out first to the founder, Sandra. She's actually my introduction to Lydia. And so as she was supporting Lydia, I became president of the chamber back in 2022. And you know, when it was a journey stepping into that role. But I remember Sandra, we were going to celebrate Women's Month, and Sandra kept bugging me in my ear. You gotta meet Lydia. You gotta meet Lydia. Somehow, some way, we have to get her involved. So I met Lydia, and she was just this big ball of energy. And she introduced me to Lydia, and it was an amazing journey since then. And Lydia has been one of those people that literally, even with the chamber, I only have a minute and a half. Yeah. She has given so much to the chamber, but even for me personally, coming into the presidency, one of the things that I was a little nervous about coming into that role, because I was standing on big shoulders like Sandra and Sorrel, and Lydia made sure that I myself and the chamber understood our value in the community and what we were bringing. And so that was one of the things I think that Lydia is very good at, is helping people, as she did at Genesee, helping them to understand the value that they're bringing, making themselves feel like they're luxury, if you will, right? Making you step yourself up. And that's a very important thing, because I think a lot of us don't take that very seriously. So I want to congratulate Lydia on everything that she's doing. What God has called her to do. And I want to make sure that you continue to do that, because whether it looks like it or not, you're doing God's work in the way that He told you to do it. All right. So keep doing what you do. Happy birthday. I wish you another 200, hopefully, if you don't mind. And we're glad to have you. God bless you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. He said, one introduction leads to another. You see how branding works, right? When you understand who you are, you walk in that authority. And as we've been hearing so far, Lydia does that very well. She walks in who she is. She could be a bully, but a good one for a good reason, right? She said, no, take that down, because what you're not about to do is leave that Canva post up there. Okay? And she said, here's a new one. So that's another thing. She didn't just criticize, but she gave her a better option. Y'all would catch that probably on the way home. She didn't just criticize and tell her what she was doing wrong. She gave her a little freebie, and that became a beautiful relationship and a client, a partnership, what have you. So the next person I'm going to call up now, Lydia calls this individual affectionately her auntie. And I saved her to go up before me, because I was kind of like going in the order of those that are very, very close to her. So I wanted to call up now the founder of Family Support Circle. Her name is Dr. Elna Poulard, and she is and has been a staple in Lydia's life. So Auntie, Dr. Elna Poulard, CEO and founder of Family Support Circle. Y'all go ahead and put up your hands together.
I only have a minute and a half. cannot take a second out of that. Hello, everyone. And Geraldine and Lydia, you know that's not fair. I have a whole lot to say. Give me a
Okay,
minute.
okay, go ahead, I got you.
Come on now.
Go ahead, I got you.
Well, I don't need to introduce myself. I'm Elna Hula. Sandra, we're
Yes.
sharing the baby tonight,
That's
okay?
right, every
So
night.
it's our
every
child, we're
night.
sharing her, okay? So, I know Lydia since she was 10 years old. I run a nonprofit organization. It's been 23 years. We just celebrated 23 years on March 30th. Lydia was the first generation youth we had in our program in church. And let me tell you, Sandra, the way you saw, she told you to put that down. This is not the way it's done. This is how it's done. This is the way she's been since she was 10 years old. Okay? You cannot do anything around her or in front of her because she will set you straight.
In a
And
nice way.
and in a very nice and polite way. So, and she thrives for excellence ever since she was younger. So Lydia went from being the program participant to someone who pushed us out as our social media director, and now is a board member of that same organization. Isn't that beautiful? It makes sure that we do everything in excellence, by excellence with her. If anything goes wrong while we are on the board, she just set it aside. It's like, we gotta get this thing done right. And Lydia takes pride in what she's doing. As you all know, you know Lydia in one way or another, in some sort of fashion. Lydia does everything. When I tell you in excellence, in excellence. And she always sees things on top. Sometimes Geraldine and I have to tell her, come down to earth because it's right here, not up there. But I love Lydia and I love who she's become, and the things that she's accomplished, and the beautiful woman that she is. And I am very proud of her. I'm proud to call her my daughter, my niece, and happy birthday to you, darling. I love you.
Listen, y'all get that compa, just real quick, just get up where you at, and just do a little compa. You know how to dance a little compa, y'all feel that in your blood? Or wherever you sit, just sway side to side. If you can sway side to side, you can dance compa. I don't see y'all swaying on this side. I said sway from side to side. There you go, there you go. All right, I don't see y'all swaying from side to, all right, the kids said I'm gonna do it. All right over here, I don't see y'all swaying from, hey. It's all for the queen, y'all. All right, awesome sauce. Look, that's that Haitian sensation one over here. They got that thing down pat. Okay, it's my turn. Oh wait, is that Kiana that just walked in? Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, Kiana. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Come here, niecey boo. Come here. This is my beautiful niece, Kiana Simmons Porter. I'm gonna give her the mic and put her on the spot. So she's gonna talk about her relationship with Lydia and how Lydia has impacted her life. This is also my beautiful niece. Okay, let me get your purse. You kill me later, Anna.
Well, ready to be thrown in the deep end?
We're all bullies.
So Lydia's been with me since I was 16 years old. When she used to work at the chamber in Henry County. She was the director of communications at the time, and I was an intern, looking to learn, figuring out what I wanted to do. And quite honestly, Lydia opened my eyes to a new level of respect in the workplace, right? And how relationships can form and grow and manifest into something so beautiful as I still work with her now. In a different capacity, obviously. But yeah, she's been there for me through all of it. And I've also been there with her. She's shown me and opened me up to new experiences. And I've seen her work so dynamically, right? Creating these massive events with such beautiful turnouts, being this lively personality, going from a director of communications to a corporate socialite, being able to see her grow and thrive and transform into the beautiful branded woman that she is. And she's also shown me those things, even though that I no longer work under her now, being able to take the little tidbits that I've learned and flourish myself. She gives so much and it touches each and every one of us in such an impactful, powerful way. And that's the most beautiful thing about being in contact with her, right? So if anything, you guys are all so lucky to be in the room with her right now. So even the fact that like I drew leaving school to be able to come here, because you know it's gonna show up for her, because she shows up for you in each and every way possible. And support is just so impactful, and her impact is immense. So I think I'm good. Love you, Lydia. Happy birthday.
Thank you for that. Okay, in case any of y'all haven't noticed, we're all kind of like little bullies in a nice way though, okay? For the next one. So thank you again, Kiana, for that. So you heard all these amazing things. She said she known Lydia since she was 16. What she didn't tell you is that Kiana is finishing up her master's degree, y'all. In counseling, right, Keith? In counseling. So once again, when you are partnered with an amazing soul like Lydia, you have no choice but to know who you are and to elevate in that manner. So back to what I was saying, it's my turn. So I'm gonna put my phone down because this one is straight from the heart. So I wanted to, before we go on into the latter part of our event tonight, I want to talk about Lydia. Lydia is my sister. So she is what I affectionately call my soul sister. So, you know, in romantic relationships, what are married people at in a room? Just wave your hand. Okay, all right, me too. So look, you have what you call a soulmate, right? But for me and Lydia, she's my soul sister. Have you ever met somebody that just gets you, like for real gets you? Someone that is there for you through the good times, through the bad times. We have known each other since we were about 15 years old. I ain't gonna tell you how old we are now because black don't crack and we don't look our age. But I'll just tell you this. She's coming up to the 4th floor on Saturday. I just got here 4 weeks ago. They don't know what 4th floor is. Like, why you tripping? I just said 4th floor. They can't tell? It's okay. They didn't know. We look like we're on the 2nd floor though, it's okay. But as I stated, we've known each other since we were about 15 years old. And this sisterhood has been tried, okay? And we are still here. As I was stating earlier, she gets me. She is there when I'm happy. She's also there when I'm sad. She was there when I had no money in the bank, and she here now, road to $1 billion, baby. So look, having her as a friend, a sister, a confidant has been the most amazing thing ever. You know, they always say, like, I'm gonna bring this back to the church world. You know, they always say, like, when you go to a church, if you wanna know how effective the preacher is, you look at the first row, you look at the first family. And if you don't see the wife nodding their heads, or if you don't see the children saying amen, that probably means that the pastor is not practicing what he's preaching at home. I'm gonna bring it home. Why do I say that? Because if I'm this close to her, and I can tell you that not only is she my friend, she's my soul sister, but she's also my brand manager. So that means to tell you is that the gift that is on the inside of her, we have watched it grow and cultivate. And I just want to encourage you, if you're in the building tonight and you don't have a brand manager, and you need somebody that's going to truly look into you and appreciate you and allow you to truly elevate to the next level that you believe deep down inside that God has called you to be, then look no further, because Lydia is it. Not only are we soul sisters, but I just had a newborn 8 months ago. She ain't not know no more because now she thinks she know how to talk. But when I say, Lydia, you my BM, I don't just mean brand manager, but I also call her my baby mama, because that's my daughter's godmother. So again, this is someone who loves hard. Someone who, if I call her at like 2 o'clock in the morning, she'll answer. You gotta call a couple of times though, because she be asleep, right, Tramel? She be asleep, but she know if I call a couple of times, it's 911, but she'll answer. We pray together, we cry together, we also make money together. Y'all should shout about that right there. I said we pray together, we cry together, and we make money together. We've traveled across the world, impacting other brands, and it's just a privilege and an honor to be here on tonight to celebrate her. She's stuck between the second and the fourth floor, I guess, because she's like, there you go again. So listen, again, you are in great company. The event tonight is called Brand You, right? Discovering who you are. And we have some amazing speakers on tonight. But without further ado, I want y'all to get on your feet because I'm about to introduce the birthday girl, the queen of the night, who's about to take this away. Can y'all stand up on your feet real quick and shout out the birthday girl? Say happy birthday, Queen Lydia! There she is. Isn't she lovely, y'all? Isn't she lovely, y'all? Fourth floor, where? Happy birthday. Thank you, everyone. Give it up for DJ Diamond. Yes. Without hesitation, he came out here to be here tonight with us. With his busy schedule, he came out to be able to be my DJ. That's my DJ. Go DJ. That's my DJ. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I know I want to say it's hard for me to be able to be in the position to be able to receive this, but it's not, because I've trained myself to be able to understand what it means to brand yourself, to position yourself, and to promote yourselves. And that's what tonight is about. So even in this space that we're in, it's a lesson to learn how to be able to promote and brand yourself and get past those limiting beliefs that don't allow you to do that. And I have those, but because I have amazing people around me in my elite circle, see what I did there? That are part of my elite circle, they encourage me and push me. You think I'm their brand manager, but a lot of times they push me as well. And I'm great because they're great. So it's a beautiful just exchange of energy that I get to do with everyone that I work with everyone that I'm around, even you guys in this room, each and every one of you guys. If you don't know, I try to remember everyone's name. I did pretty good, right, Charles? Because it's so important to be able to make sure people feel special and live like VIP. So that's the whole premise of the brand, is to make sure everyone feels like a VIP all the time, not just when it comes to being VIP situations, but you should live like a VIP because you are. Because luxury is a mindset. It's not just something you buy, it's not something you put on, but it's who you are. And that's what I want to represent, and that's what I want everyone around me to feel. So I thank you guys all for making me feel like luxury tonight by being here. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, because I get so nervous with each and every one of these events, with everything that I do. I know it looks like I know what I'm doing, or it looks like it's being natural, but I'm scared each and every time. And those who are closest to me know that when I'm smiling like this, it's like, oh, she's having a panic attack right now. And her face is stuck like that. So, but that's what it is. But you still have to push past all of that so you can be able to show who you are, remember who you are. And that's what I love to instill in people all around me, is to remind them of how amazing and great and just how much of a value they bring to any space that they're in. And it's not easy, because you have to understand your value in order to be able to see the value in others. So it does start with me. So that's why we're having this event tonight, to be a celebration and promotion of self, because you can't give what you don't have, right? How many people know that? Yes, you can't give what you don't have, because then you'll feel empty, you'll feel resentful, you'll feel regret, all of that stuff. So it's important that you do the work on you first and show up for you first. There's nothing wrong with that, making sure that you're in it for yourself, because if you win, then you're in a position to help others win. And that's what tonight is about. So by me promoting myself and putting myself in position, I'm able to have events like this, where I can position my friends who are part of my elite circle, because it's not people that come from far and wide and things like that. These are people who I know, who I love, who I've gotten to know,
who are able to be on these panels, right? Because they're part of my circle. And it's part of that is understanding that you already know the people that you need to know. You just have to leverage them and understand that you are that person too, because they're connected to you because of who you are and the value that you bring. So it's time to show up for yourself, embrace who you are, and promote yourself. And that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. Are you guys ready to talk about that tonight? Yes, yes. So we're so excited, and tonight I'm gonna bring up 3 panelists so that we could be able to talk about how you could brand, promote, and celebrate yourself throughout this evening, which is what I'm doing, guys. This whole thing is a branding promo so that you guys can see who I am. Because I not only do I understand the value I bring, but I understand the platform that I'm able to create for others. And that's why you have to show up as your best self, because what you do can impact not only others, but can bring value to others who are contacting those other people who are you are providing a platform for. So it's important to shine bright, be the diamond that you are, and don't let anyone dim your light, starting with yourself, because it's a self-talk that we do, that we dim our own light. So don't ever dim who you are. Show up bright, and everyone around you will win. Amen? Amen. All right. So, a little preaching moment. Thank you very much. She's a woman of God, if you guys are wondering. Yes. Praise him. Bless up. Hey. Yes. So, during this event, we're going to have the privilege of hearing from various speakers, such as friends who make up my circle. And as you've seen, they all shared words of encouragement. And I'll let you in on that too, because the idea behind that was not only to promote me, of course, but for you to be able to see the benefit of leveraging your circle, right? So each one of them who came up, they hold weight in this community. And by just having them come up and speak about me, it psychologically built an image of who I am to you, right? So I'm letting you in all the secrets. So it's on purpose, it's intentional, right? So that portion was for you guys to understand how you can leverage your circle to speak about you and do PR, because PR is a third party talking about who you are. Because I could go up to people all day and be like, hey, yeah, you know I'm the bomb, right? I do this branding thing, I could help people and I could help you, right? But I'm supposed to say that because I'm talking about myself. But when it comes from someone else, it holds more weight. Because like, oh, if they're saying it and they're in that position, it must really be true. So by having them come up, it added another level of credibility to who I am as a person. And I'm saying this because I want you guys to understand the benefits of leveraging your circle and having them make the introductions for you so that people can see you as a brand, as a person, as someone who's credible, because you can do it all day, but that's advertising, right? So McDonald's will tell you, I'm loving it, because they're supposed to tell you that, right? Nike gonna tell you just do it because that's what they do. But when the third person that you trust and adore and respect tells you, you know what, you gotta rock these Nike sneakers, you gotta go check out this restaurant, because it's come from that third party, it holds more weight. So that's another thing that you guys need to be able to understand about when it comes to leveraging your network, having them speak on your behalf, make sure they have good things to say, because you always show up in excellence at all times, so they have good things to say. And sometimes put the words in their mouth. You think I've had them just come up here without? You think they didn't know they were about to come up here and say what I need them to say? You didn't? Sandra, a little bit, but I knew you were gonna say beautiful things. You weren't gonna? It was just shit. But all of that is part of branding yourself. So again, everything is intentional, and all of these things are little Easter eggs to help you understand that. So without further ado, we are thrilled to introduce our panel for this evening, which again, by even introducing them, I get to show you how I know people who know people who know people. So I still win. So first off, we are thrilled to introduce one of our featured speakers, Bertine Quivercare West. Yes. She is a beacon of excellence and innovation and founder of Westbridge Solutions LLC. And she will share insights on the power of personal branding. Yes, Bertine brings over 2 decades of experience to the table as a certified diversity executive, as well as holding an executive MBA from Quantic School of Business and Technology, an MA in government and politics from St. John's University, and I'm saying numerous certifications, including the Women-Owned Small Business, as well as the EDWOSB, as well as she is also a global keynote speaker, best-selling author, award-nominated podcast host, and the editor-in-chief of Global Fluency Magazine. Give it up for Bertie! I know people, y'all. I know people. And joining her is none other than Stephane B. Jean-Baptiste, visionary, entrepreneur, keynote speaker, and business strategist who has made a significant impact in the beauty industry. You all may have recognized him for the Shark Tank. Stephane is the COO and co-founder of Cleo Essence, where he has revolutionized the way natural beauty products are created and marketed. With a passion for celebrating Haitian culture, and empowering local farmers, Stephane has built an eco-luxury brand that has gained international recognition. His creative direction and storytelling abilities have been instrumental in shaping the brand's narrative and connecting with a global audience. Everyone give it up for Stephane. Yes. And again, the more I big them up, the more I look good. Because I know people who know people who know people. Yes. And last but not least, we have an amazing recording artist. You know I was gonna pull him up here, but ha. We have an amazing recording artist. He is not only someone who has an amazing voice, but he has such a gracious spirit. He is a photographer, he is a songwriter, he does all these amazing creative things. He's such an amazing creative energy. Give it up for recording artist in hip hop and R&B, Mr. Sean Black. He gave me these flowers, y'all. Oh, he's romantic. The R&B in it. Don't it's the R&B part. That's the R&B video right here that he just threw me in real quick. Just a little bit. Give it up for our amazing panel, everyone. Yes, we're so excited to have everyone here with us tonight to talk about the benefits of branding yourself and celebrating yourself, right? So before we start, I know you guys had an opportunity to talk to everyone in groups and kind of do that mentorship aspect. How many people like their mentorship period? Oh, y'all ain't like it? That's the best part. It's like the appetizer of the evening, because a lot of times you come to these events, you come to networking events, and people are on panels, you never get to connect with the panel. They're just so far away on that big stage and all that, and that's done on purpose, by the way, so you can see them as more elevated. So they're seated above you, so you have to look up to them. So I'm telling you all these because I want you to understand what goes into branding. So that's on purpose. People are put on stages so you can look up to them and you can see them as higher than you, right? That way you feel like, oh my gosh, I only can aspire to be where they are. So what we've done in this space is put it so that they're right on the same level as you, because we want you to know that they're just people just like you. People who are figuring it out, who are learning, who are growing, and are open to sharing with you. So having those mentorship sessions was your opportunity to connect with them on a level that you typically wouldn't get to at a networking event. And hopefully you did. You picked their brain, because these brains are expensive, I like to say, right? I know my brain's expensive. Is your brain expensive? All right. So being able to connect with them on that level and ask them those questions before they sit on that panel was intentional, so that you could resonate and connect with them on a deeper level and make more meaningful connections, so that when they're speaking, you could be like, oh, that's my mentor. I just spoke with him and her and found out a little bit more about what they do and who they are. So I want you to share with a group who may not have heard that, or you may not have gotten to sit with, a little bit about who you are. So I'm gonna start with ladies first. So verse 10, tell people who you are, why you are, and how you are.
Just shout out Lydia Pierre one more time. Is complex. What I do is simple. I believe in data. So I am data driven and solutions oriented. And shout out to my clients who are here tonight too. And my makeup artist who's over there because y'all won't get this on a normal day. But
That part.
it's work and it's a part of my branding. So that matters as well. So I run a management consulting firm called Westford Solutions. And in short, I help people and organizations 10x their revenue by recognizing, documenting, and highlighting their gifts. Because there is no reason for all of us not to win. So everybody here that I've helped win, I'm so proud of y'all. And it's a mindset that we have to start with. We have to be intentional. We have to use our gifts. We have to be vocal. If we are not, what do they say about a hungry mouth? Don't get fed. Okay, so who wants to be hungry? Not me. So my goal is to help people build relationships, build their revenue, and really have the kind of life and careers that they not only want, but deserve.
Okay, to find out about me, pull out your phone. Everybody pull out the phone out. Phone out, phone out, phone out. If it's already out, if it's already out, you know, let's go. Open up that app that looks like a camera. Not the actual camera. And if you're looking for inspiring content and business strategy content, follow your boy, S Team Bap 33. You'll find it. It's my pretty face. Look, we're talking about branding and who we are. And I share that because I'm utilizing that platform right now, similar to my friend over here, of sharing some of these nuggets that those expensive nuggets, right? You know, LinkedIn, Facebook has just been my great outlets for me to tap into the community and share 15, 20 years of entrepreneurship, the little gems that I've acquired, and more often, actually, no, the struggles that I've acquired, right? Because the struggle is God's gift. That's what essentially allows you to go forward. The failures is what allows you to grow. And so I want to be able to share that, shift that mindset. But more specifically, I started off as a creative director and graphic designer, built a company called Legal Concepts, which was a marketing agency. Changed that because I got burnt out. Ultimately, my partner and I, we founded Creole Essence, natural and ethical beauty products with ingredients that we source from Haiti. As you can see, I got my 1804 shoes on. So Unimas Critique is actually what we source out of Haiti, make famous, put it on the shelves, Ulta Beauty, Whole Foods, Urban Outfitters, as Lydia mentioned, appearance on Shark Tank, and now just continue to scale and build a business. And as a business coach and strategist, working with small business owners to essentially help them scale and go to market.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Black. I do R&B and hip hop as well. As a creative, you don't know who you are. You're just a ball of energy. You're a ball of gifts, and you are here to shed the light that God has already given you. Okay, and that's how I feel. That's who I am. I'm a vessel. What I do is very simple, like she said. Who I am is complex, but what I do is entertain. And at the end of the day, I shed my entertainment. Hopefully it sheds light. Hopefully it sheds experience and gives another creative like yourself or whoever's out there like to see what I'm doing. Don't think that you can't do it. Like you said, on that stage, you aspire and you see people like that. I aspire to do that. Don't just aspire, go out and do it. I am the proof. I was very scared of who I was and never really tapped into my creative side just because of consistency. I always thought that I'm not gonna be like Michael Jackson, so I try. You know what I mean? But you know what? I love a bunch of different artists, you know, and I love a bunch of different products. So don't ever think that you're a small product. Don't ever think that you're a small voice. I feel bigger than ever now. I am on tour consistently every year. I have contracts with different brands that you know of, City Winery, Jim Beam. I am now starting to build my brand as an adult. I feel like now I'm here. I'm young, okay? I'm 30 with 1 year of experience, if y'all know what that means.
Must be nice.
You know what I mean? I'm living in my youth. But you know what? I'm living the
Fourth floor and all right, sis?
You know, I
Such a
that bit
sellout.
I was a little older. I didn't understand that. But I don't see.
That's all right.
I don't see old. I see
Better
youth.
not.
And everybody in this room, I see youth. Okay, then this is how young you are, and how young you feel.
I've heard. This is what they tell you to get you there.
Where am I at? The second floor?
I think it's the third floor.
I'm coming up there. I'm on the way. But I'm just here to tell you that don't be scared. Be consistent and don't be scared. It starts with consistency, and then it starts with that confidence. So if you believe that you are the master of what you do, or you're great at what you do, tell yourself that. And I am the living proof that you are that. Do not ever be afraid to say that you are big. Don't think that you're small. That's all.
Amen. Amen. Give it up, give it up, give it up. So this is gonna be where we get a little deep, because I want to get into a little bit of the storytelling, because that's what branding is, right? It's about being able to tell your story and your authentic story, because people will flesh it out. They will research you, they will look you up, they will Google you. I can tell people Google me, because I make sure everything is there that I need them to find, right? And that's all part of branding, right? So understanding who you are, making sure you have that digital footprint and all of that. So I want to ask our panelists today, what inspired you? Because that's kind of the hard part, right? It's like understanding not only who you are, but motivating yourself and being inspired enough to say, you know what? I am a brand. And because I am such, I'm going to position myself as such. So what inspired you to focus on personal branding and self-promotion? Bertine?
So I know I'm a big deal. I've been a big deal. I'm gonna continue to be a bigger deal. That's just what's going down. I will say, thank you, I own it. But I will say this, when I started my company, I was 7 months pregnant. And I had been laid off from a job that I hated. And I knew it was not my purpose. I knew there was no vision to it. I knew it was super simple. And it was just a way to get myself acclimated. I'm an apple that became a peach. I was born in New York and I moved to Atlanta. Where am I, New York?
Brooklyn always in the house. Brooklyn in the house. It's always in the house. Why Brooklyn never in Brooklyn?
Listen, Miss was born in Brooklyn and raised in Queens. So I'm the reverse LL Cool J song. But I will say this, I was laid off from that job when I was 3 months pregnant. And then I thought to myself, I had to call my mother because I had never been laid off from anything in my entire life. When you're looking at type A, I'm right in front of you. So when she told me, well, it's time for you to get yourself together, I did what became what I didn't know would become the launching pad for my company, what would build the brand. I did an internal SWOT analysis. What am I good at? Once I stopped crying into my Haagen-Dazs, because I needed one day of just, how dare they? Part of it. It is, and the pain is a gift. It was a growth catalyst for me. And so once I did that SWOT analysis, I realized what I loved, what I was good at, what I hated, what I was bad at, right? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it with, but where I had challenges. No, I was not good at that thing. But why wasn't I good at that thing? We have to think about the why before we get to the what and the how, right? And so once I realized that, I knew I wanted to do something where the baby would be proud of me, where he could see that mommy can fill in the blank, right? I can do anything that I want to do, that I can conceive of. The only limitation that I had was my own imagination. And I'm creative as I don't know what. So I was ready. And I knew I had to become more than, a person that does this. Because when I walk into a room, I don't waste my voice because it's my tool. It's what I use for my living, right? But when I walk into a room, you will know. You will absolutely know because look at me. I am my brand.
That part.
I dare to find another mohawk side, faux mohawk blonde. I don't know what color blonde it is today. Orange wearing person. You won't. And that was intentional on my part. I decided to show up as I really am because I didn't always look this way. I used to be very corporate and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I realized was if I didn't show up as I am, that wouldn't give people to have the permission to show up as they are, whatever that may look like. So what was my catalyst for intentionally building a brand was to really claim and seize my place in this world and to make a better place and space for others that I came into contact with. And it started with my son, who continues to remain my motivation and inspiration. And he cost a lot of money.
It's an investment. You'll get a return one day, hopefully. Hopefully.
I think the inspiration of how we got here, similar to my brother over here that said God speaks through you, and I came to that realization very recently, and because I've just spent the last 20 years building brands for others, focusing on the gift was always in me, so from the creative side, that creativity was there, but I found myself, this is talking about recent, maybe like a year and a half ago, sitting in my dream condo overlooking Biscayne Bay in Miami, and I'm miserable. Miserable. Like deep depression. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? That vision of success that others, so if you would have asked me like a year ago, yeah, you've done this, you've done that, you're a success. I'm like, who are you talking to? You know, so not really believing what's in you, but in the gifts that God has given you. So I had to go do the work. I had to go do the deep work, and then really realizing, I have a friend over there that does mindset coaching. If you got to do the work, go find a mindset coach. because you know it's that shift, right? To really recognize the power that you know, as they say, you're created in God's image, right? So it's in you, but you just got to pull it out, and you got to like shift that narrative. And I was scared of my shadow. Like I was scared of like what's in that full potential that I can be. And the aha moment for me was just really just expressing myself, expressing my creativity. I have this idea or this philosophy that, you know, when you know, a lot of times people start businesses and you're sitting at home and you're like, oh man, I wish I had that idea. I wish I should have done it. You did. God did put it in you. You just decided not to act on it. Right? So I was like, oh, fuck that, I'm acting. Like, you know, I'm moving forward. Like I got this idea, and if I know I have the capacity to do it, I'm gonna do my best to essentially, you know, put it out there and give it to the universe. And then beyond that too, is I recognize that other people might need that, and especially people within our community. Black, white, immigrant, whatever it is, like there's these mindsets that culturally gets ingrained in us that teaches us to be small, right? And so in breaking that and in shifting that, it's not, again, to the point of like Lydia mentioned it, I have to show you how big I can be so you can see yourself in me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, I can do that. I can help others, you know? And I love the fact that you said, hey, we're sitting at this level, because again, we all put our pants, our dress, our shoes the same way, and so that power is in you. It's in all of us. It's in everyone in this room. It's just like whatever that vision that God put into you, you have to brand it, and you have to know self in order to actually get to that level.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said, Loki. I feel like I've been dealing with imposter syndrome for a very long time.
Talk about that.
And it's just something that people have always just told me, you can sing, or you can do this, or you can do that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can. You know, when I was 13 years old, I couldn't sing. You know, when I was 17 is when I finally learned how to sing. And people always are like, whatever. And I'm like, this is a muscle. So is this. Every part of this body is a muscle. If you train it, it will get there. Your mindset, no, it's not even just about the physical. It's about the mental too. So I had to train both at the same time. I told myself when I couldn't sing that I could sing, right? And I was singing all the songs that like the best singers in the whole world. I'm like Carl Thomas and, you know, CeCe Winans. And I mean, I can sing the Carl Thomas, you see that, right? But you know, we're both from Chicago, so, you know. But yeah, I couldn't see it in myself. Like I could see, I could see it in myself, but I just couldn't see it. I kept telling myself, oh, I am Carl Thomas. I am R. Kelly. Good. Not the bad one. At the time, it was fine. At the time, it was okay to listen to R. Kelly. But I was just telling myself, I can sing those songs, and I will sing those songs. The moment I started to sing those songs, I would hear myself, and I'd be like, I could tweak this. Let me tweak this. Let me tweak that. So eventually, it started to sound good. And at 17, 18 years old, that's when I went to college in New York. Shout out to New York. Shout out to BK. I stayed on Clifton Place between Bedford and Nostrand. Can't stop till I die. Yo. She's gonna teach me after this.
Right now.
cooling.
Hey!
So in New York, and as we all know, I don't know if y'all know New York, but New York is one of those places where you either become yourself or you fall flat on your ass. And I became myself. I learned exactly who I was in New York. I used to go and sing on the G train every day. I would sing on the G train from back and forth. It didn't have too many stops, so that was like the best thing for me. I was like, I ain't gonna impress too many people, right? I would start off on the G train. I would just started singing a song called "If I Ever Fall in Love Again" by Shy.
A little bit, just a little bit. Give me a little bit.
And if I ever fall in love again, all right, so just a little bit. So I used to sing that song on the train all the time. And I really didn't believe that I was doing a good job until this one person walked into me. He was in a whole business suit. He was going down to Wall Street. I could tell. He walked up to me and said, listen, I'm going to sow this seed. I want to pay you right now. Every day that I see you, I'm going to give you the same amount of money. But I got to see you every day. If I don't, I take the train at this time. If you're going to be here, then I'm going to pay you. He gave me a $100 bill. He said he was gonna give me that every day. I came back to that train every single day at that time, and that man was there every single day for a year. Now this is something that no one absolutely knows.
Wait, let me do some math. How many math people we got in the room? Oh, snap!
And yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Wow.
It paid rent for a couple of times. Okay, then.
Yes.
And that man gave me $100 every time, and I was just very excited. And I was just like, yo, if someone believes in me this much, why don't I believe in me this much? Being yourself. Exactly. You know, and that inspiration to me just alone brought me to here today. I never gave up on myself. I was homeless in New York at the time when I was doing that, right? I didn't get a house I didn't get an apartment until he gave me a couple of extra $100. I was living on the train. You know, at that time, I was living on that train. So I was back and forth. Once he started giving me that money, I was getting it every day. And it came up to be the point where I had an internship at Rock Nation at that time after a while. And I was working directly under Jay-Z, directly under Beyonce, just to be able to, I see them. I'm running their tours. I'm doing different things for TSL Studios down in New York in the South Bronx. And that's a very well-known spot. They were doing a lot of events, a lot of club parties. So it just felt like I was in my industry and I was doing my thing. But all it took was a little bit of belief. So just like I said, you never know what you're going to get if you just stay consistent. So that post that you think, oh, nobody's gonna like this. I bet you if you post it every day, somebody gonna see it. That product that you're selling. You ain't selling it every day like you know you should be, but if you did, I guarantee you to start selling that little idea that you keep tapping into every day. I guarantee you, every day, you water that plant after you sow that seed. I guarantee you will see the growth of that plant. Don't ever give up on yourself. So, because I've never given up on myself, and I'm still at it. I still have times in my life where I'm like, I'm not that, you know? And even when she just brought me up, I'm like, okay, this is a hell of a battle right here. I just do a couple of tours every year, you know, and I'm like, I see this guy on Shark Tank. This is so, you know, that imposter syndrome has been going out the window for a while now, and I've been living in my truth. So my truth is that I am great.
To say real quick, I am great. I didn't hear you. I am great. I ain't believe you. Believe that? I don't believe that. One more time. I am great. I am great. Yes. Because if you don't believe it, who else will, you know? And honestly, to his point, there are people who see you before you see you, right? And if you don't step up to the plate and realize who you are, people will take advantage of you. They'll take advantage of the gift you have because they see what they would do with the gift that you have if they were in your shoes, right? Because that's what potential is. When people see the potential in you, what they're really seeing is, man, if I had that gift, you know what I would do? And then they cultivate it, but it's low key for them. So if you don't know who you are, then you will get used and misused and abused. So it's to your benefit, and it could be to your detriment to not know who you are, because people will take advantage of you. And I don't believe in people taking advantage. I believe in you giving the advantage, because no one can take anything you don't give them. So if you don't know who you are, you gave them the advantage over you. So it's important that you walk in your light, you understand who you are, take time to reflect and understand your gifts and cultivate it. Get around people, build a circle, build a network who can help you cultivate those gifts, because you don't want to be walking around getting taken advantage of and people building on the gifts that you have. Amen? All right. Right. So now another question. So piggybacking on the imposter syndrome piece, because I know that's a heavy thing, right? Looking in the mirror and trying to embrace who you are and really believing. We say it, but it's not easy, right? So what are some of the techniques or some of the things that you guys had to do in order to really try and overcome those limiting beliefs, those ideas, those negative thoughts, those intrusive thoughts? Because they're real and they come every day. Even today I had them. As I was setting up, I was having intrusive thoughts, like, what if nobody comes? What if they So all of that happened. So how do you overcome them, and what suggestions can you give to the audience of how to get past those negative self-talks?
Well, first, I'm gonna give you one. Have you met you? Have you met you? What did I say in the video that you had me put up? The visionary Lydia Pierre. Woo! So I'm gonna leave that right there for a moment so you can sit with that on your birthday.
Thank you.
But we all deal with imposter syndrome at some point. With me, what that presented as was that negative reel. Because on the outside, everybody saw, oh my gosh, she's always happy. Happiness is a choice that I make. It's an intentional choice, and I made sure to make it every day, especially when I don't feel like it. Because what that does is it gets me out of that negative loop, right? And I want my friend Andrea here to raise her hand, because she's the mindset coach that you all need to know. So, she does something called compassion-based cognitive therapy. And it really changed the game for me. It really did. First, I had to do it on my own, which is hard, right? I needed a blueprint to do that. My gift is that I see people and organizations 10 steps ahead of where they see themselves, and I reverse engineer the process. It's fun for me, and I love how my brain gets to work, because it is my God-given talent, and I didn't even know what the name was for it until many years later. Now I'm on the 5th floor. Talk about melanin. Okay. Wow. Your mama and your baby's grandma. That's right. But to that end, though, I had to figure out what triggered those thoughts, what triggered those voices. And a lot of it is cultural, a lot of it is gender-based, right? So what I knew is that I had to disabuse myself of the lies that I had been told. Not intentional lies, but the things that fall down from one generation to another. I'm a woman, so I can't do fill in the blank. I flipped that. I'm a woman, so I can do fill in everyone, whatever I want to do, right? I can empower, I can inspire, I can do those. My life is a testimony and a testament to what the American dream is. And I would look in the mirror and say, I am that thing. I know that my mother left a comfortable life in Haiti to come here to do a job that was not pleasant, that was not pleasant. And she said, I'm cleaning up after people so you don't have to. And so that gave me it served as the catalyst for me to remind myself of who I am. I know exactly who I am from 4 generations back. I can tell you in Africa where I'm from. And that is a joy and a gift for me. So I have to remind myself, you are this, you are that, you're from here, you do this, and you believe these things, right? And so once you start learning why you believe certain things, then you start to pause. And it becomes like riding a bike, like I told Andrea. Like I pause anytime that little, negative thought comes up, and I'm like, well, why am I feeling this way? Let me examine that first, right? Because that has saved me on many an occasion for making mistakes. And I don't mind making an organic mistake, but it can't be about my feelings, because we are not our feelings. Our feelings are temporary things, and we have to use them and leverage them as the tools that they're meant to be. Our feelings allow us to create songs. Our feelings allow us to empower other people. Our feelings allow us to see things that we can really get to for goals, but we can't stay in them if they're negative. It does not suit us, it doesn't help us, and it doesn't help us help others. So particularly, I share this with you, when we get on a stage, I get nervous every single time. And the day that I don't is the day that I quit, because I love that turning that distress into eustress, that positive stress, that energy. So now it becomes like riding a bike. So I can walk in here and say, oh my gosh, I have to speak in front of people. I was extremely introverted, I should say, growing up. This is not what most introverts look like. So I had to channel who I wanted to be so I can help people that I wanted to help. And I had to remind myself of that every day. And then you have to think about it too. So I want to share a quick example with you. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up in Queens, and I didn't speak English until I was 5 years old because I left to go to Haiti in 2 months, came back 2.5 years, didn't start school until I was 5. And so that's where I learned English. But along the way, in the American school system, they kind of want to drive that out of you. So what ends up happening is you forget the ancestral languages that are yours, right? So then on the flip side, your Haitian family will start making fun of you because you sound like an American, right? Right? I'm like, I know what I said, right? Exactly. Right, your Creole's heavy, right? But then I realized, I think a lot of us, especially with imposter syndrome, we worry that people are gonna mock us, laugh at us. So you know what I did? Not only did I go and learn the languages of my people, right? But I became an interpreter of that language. I became the first nationally certified healthcare interpreter for Haitian Creole in the state of Georgia's history. That's right. Okay. So the next time we were explaining something to a cousin in Creole, he just stopped dead in his tracks because he was just like, wait, where you learn that from? Right? And it was something that required a deep conversation, and he had never heard that from me before, and that's a part of myself that I kept away. So what I realized in that moment is there is no imposter. It's always been me, but it's a question of when am I stepping up for myself? Because once I do, that changes relationships. It changes not only how you perceive, but how you walk in your own space and who you are and who you're able to help. So with that, it's a journey, but give yourself some grace. We will falter, and it's all right to feel it, but remember, you are not stuck in that feeling.
Another question.
All right, you do that, because she dropped all the gems.
All of it. I already know. I done know, sis. So, so when it comes to, because we're talking about branding yourself and all of that, right? But what are some of the practical steps? So when I say practical, I mean, because branding can be a very big, kind of broad subject, right? There's PR, there's advertising, there's marketing, and all of that comes under the umbrella of building that brand. So what are some of the practical steps that someone can take in order to start building their brand so that it could be that personal brand, so that they can be able to get those big offers, flourish, and get premium clients, all that good stuff?
I mean, first and foremost, is starting in this room, right? Like taking notes, figuring out these little tips and tricks, because the most important thing about branding is branding you and knowing you, right? Like, because then that sets the floor of your values, contracts and agreements that you're willing to do, projects that you're willing to do. How are you presenting yourself? What's the narrative? So in branding, and when you're developing a brand or working for companies, I often ask, what's your avatar? Who's your avatar? That avatar is essentially, okay, hey, single, female, urban, a particular income, demographic, where they are. Do that deep work, because that's exactly what you just mentioned, right? Like that deep work for yourself, do that self-audit and figure out who you are as your avatar. And then, start stepping out. When I started just like really embracing myself, because again, when you are in branding and marketing, you forget to work on your own stuff. My first company, our website stayed stagnant, and then I was spending so much time building up people's website. I was like, yo, we gotta stop. Because you get lost in the shuffle. So I had to stop and evaluate it again. And building Creole Essence, I spent so much time building that up. People are like, yo, I don't see, what are you doing? And I didn't realize that itself was hindering the growth of the company. Both of us as founders, we need to start stepping out there. You want to start capital raising. You want to start getting retailers. They're looking. Your audience is out there. Your community, your fans are out there. Even if your boss is looking, right? And I was just speaking to a friend of mine about just even on a corporate setting. Yeah, I'm not saying everybody's gonna be an influencer, right? But in branding yourself and knowing who you are, you now have the motivation, the consciousness to say, hey boss, let me sit you down for a little bit. See that raise I was going after? I've done X, this, that, and the third. I understand that I represent the company's value, blah, blah, blah. Where my money at? Right? Or that promotion that you really wanted to go after, or that job you want to go after. You're faking yourself out because you don't know self. Right? You don't know that it is in you exactly that you're saying. Like, you know, hey, I know I can do that. I like to say, look, if you're sitting in the shower and you have that idea and you think you can do it, you're sitting in your car, you have that idea, you think you can do it. You're sitting at lunch, you have an idea, you think you can do it, then you can do it. You can do it. It's in you. So practical steps. LinkedIn, start, once you get that understanding, you know, make that adjustment. Like right now, hack your algorithm. That was one of the first things that I started doing. I started hacking my algorithm. Liking, branding stuff, anything that was about self-awareness, motivation, the mindset. Don't be a slave to social media. Drive it yourself. Don't be a slave to AI. Use it, utilize it. But the best way to utilize it is to know self. I'm actually using ChatGPT right now, and actually Meta AI. I'm using it, and I'm saying, okay, hey, rewrite this copy in a concise voice. I want it to be this, that, and the third. All things that I value. Right? So now I can essentially say the app is like, it's learning my values. It's learning who I am, so it can regurgitate and say it in the tone that I needed to. So definitely LinkedIn, starting with that. Depending on the social media side, I love IG. I'm a creative, so I can take some pictures, you know, and post it, but also still continue storytelling around that. TikTok is actually pretty dope, you know, until we continue having it. That might change as well. You know, my mindset coach told me one day, just build your own website. Just build your own website. And just, even if you don't publish it, just that process of writing your own copy, writing your own bio, write down your accomplishments. All that just triggers like, yo, I'm a badass.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, or even just journaling. How many of you guys journal? Okay, I need to see more hands. Start journaling. That journaling process allows all that noise in the head, you pull it down. All that frustration that's like, oh, can I do this? Can I not do that? That journaling experience, and it doesn't even always have to be a book. Like right now, like I'm in the Uber, I'm jotting it down in my notes. And I organize it, you know, and I mark it out in the date. I'm a big digital person, so I try to find like digital hacks to make the process, remove the friction. But journaling has been amazing to sort of get your thoughts down, understand who you are, even if you don't go back and reading it, but that exercise of talking to yourself. And lastly, we don't pause enough. And I think this is what you were saying in a sense, to stop and have those conversations with ourselves. We just don't do that enough. And I think in doing that, then I'm actually going to go back as well. In that reflective piece, you remember what you've accomplished. And the struggle, and like you're here because you've gone through mad shit already. Right? So I think that journaling process allows you to do that. I'll leave it. I can go deeper. There's like some like, you know, different, should I go deeper?
Drop them nothing.
On the practical side, writing, again, the journaling piece helps with that too, but then I think with what Lydia's doing with the intentionality, once you accept that, you get a little bit more comfortable with it. Once you understand the hack, right? Like, you know, like, hey, I am branding myself and it's okay. Give yourself that acceptance that you are branding yourself. Like, yeah, I know I look good in that shirt. I'm gonna post it, right? Because that simple act gives you that confidence to go one step. And the last thing I'll say, book a photo shoot for yourself. I did that at the top of the year and I was like, damn, you're a good looking guy. That's it. But the beauty of it, and once I realized it, is I orchestrated a photo shoot to see myself and present to the world how I see myself, right? And owning my own narrative. And that's the most important thing. If you take anything away tonight, own your narrative, and that's what branding is. You understand who you are, and you own it, and you execute it, and you present it in the medium that you prefer and that you control.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Stefan. Yes. And a little bit in between that, what I want you to address, Sean, as well as what I'm going to address is the journey to not only while branding yourself, holding on to those core values, because you touched on that, right? Because what can happen if you're not careful is you can get a big head. You can start feeling yourself a little too much, right? And then the things that you think you're doing really ain't doing what you think it's doing, right? So I think it's really important to have what I call a feedback loop, right? And a feedback loop is a space, a safe space where you have people around you that you trust to tell you about yourself, to check you from they're like, you know what, Lydia, I don't know. That was a little different. Like I saw how you were, you know. So people who will bring you back to yourself and remind you because you trust them and their opinion and who they see you to be. And you can be able to take that criticism and apply it, right? Because you can't brand yourself without understanding what the market wants, what they appreciate, what they like, all of that. So that's all part of discovery, right? Because what I do with my clients, because this is where I plug myself, because remember, I'm a brand manager.
Yes.
I know she cute. She cute and all.
But she'll get you together too.
But I'll get you together, snatch it up. You feel me? So what I do with my clients, I do a client discovery and then I do advanced discovery. First, I want you to tell me about yourself. How do you see yourself, who you are, all that stuff. So that's client discovery. But then we go into advanced discovery. That's where we go like, all right, I heard what you said. Let me go see what they say. So we interview your friends, your family, and potential clients and people that you're trying to work with to really find out what they think they see when they see you, right? And that's where we get the real, because we can't ask them to ask, or can't ask you to ask them, because they're gonna tell you what they think you wanna hear. They're gonna sugarcoat, right? But if your brand manager hits them up, like, yo, okay, so I was talking to Bertine, and I'm working with her now, and I want you to kind of tell me, and it's anonymous, you ain't gotta worry, you're gonna go back to her. Tell me what you really think about who she is and how she shows up, etc. And you'll be surprised at things that people will tell you when they have the room and space to be able to say it, right? So I'm able to take that information, those testimonials, things like that, and use that to really help cultivate and build my client's brand. Because what they see is gonna be different than what the public sees, right? And you have to be able to build that bridge between the two so that they can all work together in harmony, so to speak, right? So I want us to talk a little bit about our core values and how, as we brand ourselves, how we have to not only show up as our authentic selves, but be careful to not lose sight of who we are and what we really got into it for in the first place. Because the ego, that ego is worse, like you said, worse than imposter syndrome. I'd rather have imposter syndrome than have ego. Because ego will have you thinking not only that you're better than other people, or that they don't deserve you, or they shouldn't even be around you. Like, who are these peasants who are around? Like, you'll walk around like that. Like, and so you have to be able to check your ego. So let's talk about the core values, and even as you build the brand and you evolve, the difference between evolving and being self-centered.
I think I will have a lot of light to shed on this subject because,
I know it.
especially as an artist, I think I probably have the biggest ego on this stage, and I'm just because I have an ego for my songs, and I think as an artist you have to have an ego. Low key,
about your shit.
Yeah, kind of gotta be kind. You gotta be. You know what I mean? But then John Legend too. You really gotta be real humble and like, you know what you can. You know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of. As an artist, I know. But when I make a song, it may not be for absolutely everyone. So I do have that group where I give my music to, like, hey, what do you think of this song? You know what I mean? Like, in your honest opinion. And I don't like to, send people songs and go, how's this song for you? No, I'll tell you, how does this song make you feel inside? Because that's what I'm trying to tap into, that feeling. Because feeling is going to give me the attraction for a fan, right? There's support all around this world. I supported Meg Thee Stallion this morning. It was just on my playlist. It just happened to roll by, and it was just something for me. It's not like I listen to Meg Thee Stallion on a day-to-day basis, but I supported her today. I'm not a fan of Meg Thee Stallion because I don't tap into her. I don't know her. I don't know her Instagram. I don't know anything about her other than she creates a couple of songs that we listen to in the lounge that I go to every now and then. But what draws people into you as a fan is the love for people. Your life, your actual, so I'm a father, right? So I draw people into my Instagram and my TikToks through my sons. I have 2 kids, right? So they love seeing my sons more than I do, more than they love seeing me, right? Now, I post something about myself, it gets 1,000, 2,000 likes, right? If I post something about my son, I could post it right now and I'd get 5,000 likes off just my son. I'm just like, okay, maybe they are into my family, they are into my life, not just my music, because I could post my music all day and they're like, oh, that sounds nice. It's real nice, but where can I get it? Once they get it, they're listening to it, they think nothing of it, right? I'm just another song on their playlist. But when I give them my life, I feel like I draw them into it. I feel like that's when they're into who I am, you know? So going to other people or even other artists, you know, if there's somebody in your business or along your business field that you are confident enough to say, hey, check out this product without them stealing your idea of product, you know, then go to them, hey, this is my idea. This is what I have. You know, we're like-minded. You're my peer in this industry. Can you tell me what you think of it? You know, what do you think of this investment? What do you think of this business? Or what do you think of this building I'm thinking about investing in? You know what I mean? What do you think? So I think another mind in general that is not yours, that is not your mother's, that's not your brother's, is always another good mind to have to be able to judge what you got going on. And so that you can bring your ego down too. Because they might see little things that you absolutely loved about it and be like, you know, that could be better. And then you're like, damn, that was my favorite part. You know what I mean? Like, I really love that about this. But, you know, I think we need to take ourselves out of it. And don't go comparing though. Don't go compare.
That's a thief of joy.
Because comparison is the thief of joy. You will be out here comparing yourself for the rest of your life, and imposter syndrome will hit you harder than it ever has. Ego will never see you again, okay? You always have to just love what you create. There's a song called Love Yours by J. Cole. I don't know if y'all know it. But it's the song is, the hook goes, there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Don't ever think that there is something that's better than yours, right? There's Target, but then there's Walmart too. Like there's 1,000 Walmarts out there. There's 1,000 Targets out there. And in those Targets and in those Walmarts, there are the same products. But guess what? Great Value's got a product just like that, you know? And it might be even better in your mind. You know, I grab Great Value bread all the time. I don't know about y'all. It's just a couple of cents cheaper, you know, and it's just bread. So in my mind, I'm just grabbing it. Don't ever think that you're not the product that they just won't grab and then fall in love with, you know, because I love certain products when I go to my Targets. Because I don't go to Walmart, I go to Target, I'm bougie. I'm Target all the way. I'm bougie. I don't really go to Walmart, okay? I don't go to the Kroger either, okay? I'm not down to the Kroger.
Are you a Publix person?
I'm down to the Publix and the Sprouts. Yeah, Sprouts too.
I like
now.
their ice.
I'm bougie. But you know what? It's just I fall in love with Sprouts. I followed their company from the beginning, and I was just like, I'm going to Sprouts all the time. They have natural products. They have stuff with GMOs. They have no artificial flavoring and coloring in a lot of their products. So I'm at Sprouts all the time. So fall in love with that process. Fall in love with also giving your product out before it's coming out. Test that. Just like she said, she'll go around and do a tester, see what people actually feel about it. Don't tell them you created the product. You can go set up on the belt line somewhere. Hey, this is this, I sell this, or not even I sell this. Hey, this is a product that I'm influencing, I'm affiliated with it. What do you think of it? Tell me your honest opinion. You can just lie to people real quick, just see how it feels, and then tell them later, like, hey, this is my product. I appreciate your opinions, regardless of whether it was negative or positive. Okay? The market will tell you, positive or negative. The market will tell you. So when I'm creating songs and I'm writing songs, I was in the studio with Idris Elba. Oh, so funny. Okay, so all right, dang, I heard a few women go, oh, Jesus. Wow. All right. So just I'm gonna say what he said. You never know who's watching. So actually, my boss is watching right now. He's directly in front of me. His name is Kareem. He's one of the owners of MCK, which is an absolutely beautiful restaurant. If you want to stop by after you're done here, it's absolutely incredible. Grab the lobster bites. I guarantee you, I live and die by them. Okay?
Absolutely. And the side piece, that's my favorite.
Ooh, the only time you'll be able to get a side pizza.
And the calamari. Okay, sorry. Shout out to Rocksteady though. Shout out to Rocksteady. Shout out to Rocksteady. Jacob in the building. Jacob.
See, so I was in the studio with Idris Elba the other day, and absolutely, it was Idris Elba. Idris Elba, okay? Yeah. So he was talking about this song, talking about what he wanted, talking about what we wanted to write for him, because I was in the studio to write music for him. And we were creating this song, and at first I was doing this little melody, and I guess he really liked it because he started dancing. You know, he started moving, he started snapping his fingers.
How does he dance?
I can't dance as sexy as him. I'm just not him. You know what I mean? I'm just but he was, you know, he was moving, and then I moved on to another melody, and I saw him stop moving. And I went, hold on, I can't do that here, not in this moment. So let me hold on, let me go back to it. I went up back to the same melody, and he started dancing again. So I said, okay, this is where I'll keep it. This is where I'll have it, because this is my avatar. Person I'm selling to. This is the person. This is my avatar customer, right? This is the person that I want. The person that is mature, the person that loves music, has appreciation for music. So if he can dance to this, and I need to start creating more music like this. So that I just kept along with that same thing. I don't want to go too deep into it, but yes.
No worries, no worries.
Y'all can ask me about the Idris Elba story later if y'all want. I did get pictures with him. I also been in the studio with Ghost from what is it?
Power?
Yes, Power.
Yes.
Omari Harden, yes. Yes. I've also created songs with him. I've written for a lot of different people, Missy Elliott, Daniel Caesar. I've been in the studios. I've had the pleasure of being in the studio with Usher, Carrie Hilson, Mulatto. So just a bunch of different artists that I've had to follow along and be like, yo, if they like this, and I sing everything out loud. So do everything out loud. I know I'm a singer. I know I'm an artist. I know entertainment is a little bit different to the crowd that is here. I know we do have some entertainers and artists in the building, but just do something different. Don't be afraid to do something different, and if they like it, keep doing it.
Yes.
Piggybacking off of that, and yes, check the ego, but respect the ego, because the ego is still part of you. So I'm about to drop a little nuggets that cost me thousands of dollars of therapy to get here. But last week there's this personality test it's called the Enneagram test. You familiar with it? You taking it? Yeah. Oh my God, it blew my mind, right? So what the Enneagram does, you know, a series of questions, and then you get this full report of your personality. It's on a scale of like 1 to 9, and then 9 ended up being a 3. So I'm reading it, and the 3, the characteristics, showboating, this, that, and the third, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, I hate this guy. Like, I'm like, this dude's an asshole. Like, I don't want to be a 3. But then towards the end, they talk about what your arcs are and what your arrows are and what other areas of your personality and your whole being that you pull, right? So I think once you know and you respect the ego and you respect some of those characteristics, you can pull from it, because you pull from it when you get on stage, right? Like when Beyonce says that she's Sasha Fierce, or that's it, right? She's pulling from that character to essentially get on stage and do what she does. So I think respecting that, and also those pieces of your characteristics, again, is what helped you get here. So it's just like learning how to like tap into it. But once you understand that consciousness of it, then it's not driving you. You're driving those personalities, and you're choosing what to pull from, because it's all of you.
And the data analyst in me is like, right, your ego is data, right?
Yeah.
So when you're pulling from that ego, when you have that quiet moment, what you're really doing is taking the psychometrics and the psychographics of yourself, right? So by that, you're creating your own client avatar. When you were saying about you're creating so many people's websites that you lost sight of your own, I will say this. I'll go back to COVID real quick, and I promise I'll make it make sense. But during COVID, that's when it really hit me that I had been so busy working on everybody else that I had neglected my own baby, not the one that eats all my food, but the Westbrook solution. I had neglected to do for my company what I had done for everybody else. And so that moment, because again, we're finding a time for quiet, and during COVID, no one was going anywhere. We had all the quiet music. And so I thought to myself, what am I gonna do? And it was a moment again of reflection for me. And then I said, oh, I need to do a deep dive and look at my own psychographics, psychometrics. What type of company do I wanna be? And that helps you really not only refine your core values, establish them, refine them, develop them, but I always say as I evolve into the CEO of myself, the CEO-ness of myself, one thing I have to do is build more boundaries, because more boundaries provides more liberation. And so that allows me to walk into my own space. And that's how I check my ego. But to your point about having a feedback loop, I have them in the room with me today, right? And you guys know me, raise your hand so everybody sees you. She's one, she's one, she's one. They're a couple down there, right? But I have them and they just can't be everybody, right? They have to be people you can be vulnerable with, because vulnerability requires a level of courage, right? So, and they will tell you the real deal. And once you see that about yourself, you can take a moment back, because it can't be your mom, it can't be your dad, and it can't be your favorite siblings, right? Because, oh, they love you. Yeah, but that's not what I need to hear right now, right? And they give you they are rooting for you, but your feedback loop roots for you in a different way, right? And so I always have to remember to look at myself as my ideal client avatar as well, before I can even look to other clients, because how I'm being perceived, that isn't my top priority, but it's how I perceive myself, because that's going to dictate everything else. So I'm my own market, I've got to drive it. So what you both said resonated with me so much.
Absolutely. And again, just to kind of touch on some of the things that Sean was saying, I know you heard him dropping some names and whatnot. How many people understand that that's a necessary part of branding, right? It's a necessary part of branding yourself when you're able to point to the people that you know, the people that you've worked with, lay out your resume, right? So when you're able to speak to your resume, people, your ears perk up like, oh, okay, you work with them, you must be somebody, right? Because you've worked with those people. So that we call that brand equity, right? Yes. So you're able to pull from people's brand equity because of who they are, and because of your affiliation with them, you're able to pull a little bit of their equity and build up your own credibility that way. So when he said Idris Elba, you guys like, oh man, well then, oh, you must be bigger than I thought, right? So it just adds to that equity of who you are. So understand your circle, understand the people who are around you, understand the value that they bring, because the value they bring benefits you and adds to your value, which also means make sure you don't have people who take away from your value. Because you are, because birds of a feather.
Yes, together.
Okay?
Yes.
So if the people who are around you are perceived as respectable, knowledgeable, and people who are just really doing big things, then people will automatically assume you must be doing the same, right? So let's not act like that's not a real thing. Right. It's a real thing. So the same way if you're around people who are lying, cheating, stealing, and scamming, people are gonna think you're one of them, right? So it's important that you audit your circle. You take inventory of the people who are around you and be real with yourself. Like, the level that I'm trying to get to and the spaces that I'm trying to be in, are these people gonna hold me back, or are they gonna take me to that space? You have to be honest with yourself and take inventory of those who are around you. Family doesn't mean nothing in this space. I know you guys will hold on to people just because they blood, because they're your cousin, because they're your sister, they're your friend girl. They gotta go too if they're not doing what they need to do in order to hold up the character that you have. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it.
Wait, you mean I can't hang out with Pookie and Ray Ray?
No, I mean, we need the goons too. Let's be honest. We need some goons around us. Because we can't get our hands dirty, you feel me? So you need the goons too. Yeah. But you might not bring the goons into the other circles. So keep them separate. But nonetheless, just be real and honest with yourself about where you're trying to go and who you have to present as in order to be able to get into those spaces and those places so that you could feed your family, so you could build your legacy and all those great things that you want to be and do and have. Because you can be anything you want to be and do and have, but you just have to be honest with yourself and be willing to separate yourself so that you can stand out. And that might be intentional. And that might mean moving away from Pookie and them, even if they're your cousin. It might be your cousin Pookie, but it might mean, you know what, cousin Pookie, I love you, but what where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to do, I just can't right now. You know, so just be honest with yourself and be willing to care about who you are, because people are depending on your greatness, right? People are depending and can benefit from who you are going to be and the platform that you're going to have, right? Because this space is a platform right now that I was able to build. And because of that, I have these amazing people who are here for you to access and talk to and build your network and grow. And if I didn't do my due diligence to position myself and I was out in these streets and I was irrespectable, they wouldn't be here. Because I promise you, they Googled me before they said yes. Be honest, Stefan. Did you Google me first?
Remember last year.
Tell me about it. Remind me.
All right, so this is the reason why you don't remember this. This is the reason why I was like, yes, I'm coming. I think we both manifested this moment, right? So I'm on LinkedIn, and just scanning through, being intentional, auditing, sort of like, okay, hey, who I need to reach out to, blah blah blah. And then I saw something that you posted. It was like, hey, luxury, live like VIP. You remember that, right? And I was like, I want to work with you, because like I'm like Haitian temple, like I'm not seeing people who move like you, and you're moving like me. So we gotta work together. And when this opportunity opened, I was like, wait, where do I sign up? Let's go. So intentionality. And piggybacking off of that too, and what you were saying, being the CEO of your life requires you to be intentional of that group of circles. So you can hang out with Mookie if you know what Mookie and them provides to your company.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, just that intentionality, like, okay, hey, I need an accountant, I need a lawyer, I need X, Y, and Z. Do that same audit for your life and build those people around.
And you might need a goon.
And you might need a goon.
You might need a goon.
You'll need a goon.
You always need a goon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You need a goon.
They know where to get the recreational stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't need, goons apply later, but I do also, to your point about our circles, right? You and I met because of our mutual beloved friend, Sandra L. Well, how I like to say, Sandra LG. And so this speaks to ego and checking ego again, right? Having a circle, but also building professional equity. I check my ego by also knowing there are others who are great in other spaces. And so I make it, Aisha and I were just talking about that the other day. I make it a point to refer other people who are operating in their lane of brilliance, because I know what my lane of brilliance is. It's not what everybody else does, right? So that also reminds me that, oh, you know what? You can do a lot of things well, but what do you do that's great? So stay there and get the other person that does what they're great at, right? And so now we're speaking to professional equity. So by sheer virtue of me knowing this great woman and her knowing you, that already was the credibility. And I was like she called me, I'm like, yes, whatever you want. She's the only client I speak to on a Sunday. I don't speak to anybody on a Sunday. I don't speak to my siblings on a Sunday. So Andrea will get a call, but like when Sandra goes, Sunday at 9 a.m., I'm like, why are you up? But, to that point, how dare you? But when somebody, and this is the power of connection, and this is when you know who you really are, like Socrates says, know thyself. So if I'm confident in me, I don't mind walking into other spaces and referring people openly and actively and intentionally. And so when somebody else says, you should know this person, that was all I needed. And then once we did meet, it was great. It's back.
And it's your birthday too, so you guys share that.
Oh, I did forget. You know,
it's also Stefan's birthday.
Oh my God!
It is your birthday. It is my birthday.
Next Friday. Yeah.
I got a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to know your birthday.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
We're too busy operating our brilliance. But who you refer matters, right? Especially on the 5th floor.
Wait, what floor you on? You
On the 5th, proud of it. But it's about referring people to each other. This is how we build up this connectivity. This is because I want you all to look around the room. I'm going to give you homework. I want you to look around the room, meet someone you don't know, ask them what they do. Will do it every time. And meet someone you don't know, but also exchange contact information with them. exchange your LinkedIn profile with them and then get to know that person, because that person, she right here, do you guys know each other? That doesn't matter then. Okay. Who doesn't know each other?
They met
Okay,
tonight.
perfect. Case study happening right now.
Yes.
So you don't know if she's going to help you land your next six-figure client,
on
right?
now.
And vice versa. I'm manifesting it for you because you know what? I've done it. I've helped people do it. This is the power of connection. Okay, once you're able to do that, it becomes like riding a bike. So events like this, you know, I'm so grateful to you because you are helping people build that connectivity that they so need, and really it's building community, because that's what we need. We're all having this human experience together. So celebrate you all.
Everybody, for our panel. Amazing tonight.
One more closing word on my end, since we're close to time. This was great and all, but I'm gonna be real with you. This shit is hard. Period. But which hard do you choose in your life? This hard or the hard of not knowing?
Yes, thank you, thank you.
That's what it's called.
Yes. Give it up for our panel, everybody. Sean up, but I'm gonna keep him for a special treat real quick. But before that, I wanna thank my original two panelists for their time and energy for coming here. So what we like to do at the Elite Circle is to acknowledge and appreciate those who not only pour into us, but to be able to share their knowledge and insights, because we know it's expensive, right? So for you to be able to come here, and Stefan, I know you flew all the way from Miami to be here with us tonight, and I appreciate you and I thank you for that. So with that said, I said a quick, did he? You must have watched the videos. So Stefan Jean-Baptiste, COO of Creole Isms, in recognition of your outstanding contributions and expertise as an influential figure in the world of branding, and appreciation for your impactful, this is you know what I'm talking about, and for your impactful participation and inspiring presence as a featured professional at the Elite Circle. Thank you.
My guy.
Thank you, Stefan. It fit too. Many words. So, Bertine, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Isn't she beautiful, people? To Bertine Cliver West, MA, EMBA, CDE, all that whole alphabet behind her name, child. Founder of Westbridge Solutions, LLC, in recognition of your outstanding contributions and expertise as an influential figure in the world of branding, and an appreciation for your impactful participation and inspiring presence as a featured professional at the Elite Circle. We thank you. Right, Sean. So, well, for my Sean, I pulled him up here, guys. I snatched him up. He wasn't originally part of the panel. But Sean is such an amazing individual. Thank you so much for always taking care of me, always looking out for me from place to place, from venue to venue. Yeah, no matter where we at, you always look out for me. Thank you so much. Yes, and I appreciate you for being here tonight. And he's gonna bless us with a little something. Who wants to hear Sean sing? Yes, so he's gonna bless us with a little something tonight. You need a chat? Talk to the DJ a little bit. Give it up for DJ Dylan. Yes. You may have seen him on Making the Band. You may have seen him on that. So he's a little celebrity in his own right. He's from Grenada and Brooklyn, New York. Give it up for Sean Black.
Alrighty, you all. So now it's time for me to do what I do. I am gonna do a little bit of acapella. Is that okay with you ladies?
Yes.
I say you ladies because I'm dedicating this to the ladies,
All
okay?
right, sing,
You know, I'm not excluding the fellas, but you know what? This is for you as well, okay? Because you put my records on, you've done half the work for your lady, okay then?
Okay.
Now, ladies, if you do happen to know this song, join in with me. I see a couple of faces in the crowd that I feel like would know this song, okay? Pulled up in a drop top, pins at the horn 2 times, then you walked outside. Dress keep hugging them thighs, and the only thing that's on my mind is I want you, yes I do. If there's anything you suggest I do, tell me. Now we all in the crib on my sofa. Girl, I'm so glad you came over. I wanna tell you come closer, but I don't know if you feel. Yeah, I feel me, girl. Don't it feel good when I touch on it? Wouldn't it be nice if all night I was in you? Come kiss me, come with me, down the hall to my bedroom. Tonight we'll be making love faces. Making love faces, my hands rubbing on your skin. Let's go hard, don't hold it in. Girl, let me wrap my hands around you, hands around you, hands around. So happy ever since I found you. Just like a kid who found some candy. Let me feel and find your panties. Take them all, take them all, take them all, take them all, please. Oh, I'm down on my knees. No, you're right in front of me. Don't have to pay for my attention. Can you hear me? Is you listening? Baby, be real with me. Cause I wanna know. And that's my little selection. One more thing. I absolutely cannot leave this stage without doing this. First off, I just want to say thank you to Lydia. It has been such a joy to see so many beautiful people and so many successful people talk about her in such a beautiful light. I have never seen such a beautiful soul in my life. I'm glad that I met you, Lydia. I appreciate your friendship and I appreciate your presence, most importantly. And I have this for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, and you. Happy birthday, beautiful. Let's give it up for Lydia one more time. Happy birthday, Lydia.
Thank you everyone for coming now. That's a wrap on the Elite Circle. This was the last installment for this series because we're breaking the summer. But I want you guys to be able to walk away, connect with each other, exchange information. Shout out to Rocksteady for hosting us since February. Give it up for Rocksteady. We got Jacob in the back. Jacob, I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for all that you are to this community. The space that you provided for all of us to be able to come together in fellowship and be our authentic selves and party and dance and be Haitian. right? Right. So we just appreciate you, we love on you, and we thank you so much for providing Rocksteady for us. So tell a friend about Rocksteady to be able to come here for all the amazing events that they have almost every night of the week, guys. It's always something popping, and Rocksteady never misses, okay? So make sure that you check them out. Thank you to Antonio for sponsoring this evening, sponsoring our amazing entertainment. DJ Dylan. Yes. Thank you to Platinum Luxury Fleet for being an amazing partner. I thank you to my sister, Geraldine Andre, who's a personal finance coach with Regal Enterprises. I thank everyone for being here in the building today. And right now we're gonna break and we're gonna have DJ Dylan take us out while you guys network and get each other's contact information, because you have to walk out of here with a partner, a friend, an associate, a colleague, all of that great stuff. So get another drink, because they're using that to see how good we did. So get another drink. And network. Thank you so much. I love you all. Happy birthday to me.
Hold on, Lydia. Hold on. Lydia, first and foremost, let me explain something real quick. My name is Dylan. And now, let me tell you, I've traveled all over this world, Germany, France, London, of course, the Caribbean. I've been to every state in the United States except for Hawaii and Alaska. And every event that I went to, I've never been in an event that motivated me. Not one that motivated me. I'm a student. And I sat here like, Jesus Christ, I want to come every week. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And Stefan too, pick up yourself. Every Gemini in the building, pick up yourself, of course. Every Gemini, I'm an Aquarius, but we love you Geminis. We love you, man. Happy birthday, and the souls that's in this building, these are the true go-getters. And I want to say, it motivated me. It motivated me. So respect to every soul in the building. Pick up on yourself.
Big up yourself.
Hey. So I mean, can we party for a little bit? Meet people in the building right about now. Can we party a little bit?
Yeah, we want party.
She said get another drink, right?
Yeah.
All right, people drink, quick. Turn up this blood clot, dude. Turn up that thing. Yeah. This now get fired up. I bring a Brooklyn in the building too. People drink. I see you. Thank you, Jamel. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be in this building. Thank you. Respect. Yeah. That's fine. Get another drink. Dial to the building. Happy birthday, Lydia. Let me go. Yo, y'all know about that G-Train, son. Y'all know about that G-Train. I got you. Diners on the ground, let's vibe a little bit. ATL New York City. Oh my God. Wait till we touch on. We in there, we in there. Two.
Okay. How did you like it?
We're gonna cruise right about now. I got places to go. Oh, that DJ present.
Feedback. What did you think? Yeah, I felt motivated. Yes, that's why I picked up like this whole party. Yeah.
One more drink. I agree with her. Let's go. I'm not playing with y'all tonight. I'm gonna leave you on a good vibe. Wait, my Haitian people do not leave. Hold up. Don't want to win. Keep getting your chill. I got 15 minutes. What up? Because I know Mookie and everybody. I got a million Mookies at them. A million of them. Big up to Haiti in the building. Happy Haitian Flag Day. From your fellow Grenadian, from West Indian people, big up on yourself. Every Haitian in the building. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Hold on. Take a break. Take a break. Y'all getting too crazy. Take a break. if you come from Haiti, then you know the real sound there, not just that. You remember songs like this. I'm from Grenada. You know that's with neighbor too, right? Big up Trinidad. Big up Jamaica. St. Vincent. Hold up. I'm not done with you.